Again, and welcome to the Sports Box, where the only opinion that really matters is right freaking here. I am Mike Galetta, aka Hamilton Mike, along with my partner Brian, the Ranger Atard. Another NFL special. We're going to 32 NFL fans and 32 NFL teams. Today, we go out to the AFC West, all the way out west to San Diego, and we're going to talk to the Chargers. The Chargers up-and-coming team. Well, not really, but that's okay, because we're going to talk to a guy who thinks they're up-and-coming and going to give us a lot of reasons to get excited for the Chargers. He lives in the San Diego area. His name is Leo Rodriguez. Leo, you on the line?
Yes, sir. How's it going, Mike?
Good, good. Thanks for getting on the Sports Box, Leo. We only have winners here, so I hope you're ready to roll.
That's right.
All right, let's do it.
Attaboy, attaboy. Brian, stat me. Let's go.
San Diego Superchargers. So, they finished 4-12 last season. It was a down year. Last place in the AFC West, didn't go to the playoffs. Offensively, not a good attack on the ground. They finished 31st in the league in rushing, but top 5 in passing, 4th overall. Thank you, Philip Rivers. Defensively, they finished 27th against the run, but better against the pass, 14th there. In the draft, they did go with Joey Bosa, a defensive end out of Ohio State, 3rd overall.
Joey Bosa!
As of filming today, he has not yet signed. That is something that's going to hang over the team, I think, until that gets done. In free agency, they added Casey Hayward and Travis Benjamin, but they did lose Eric Weddle and tight end Ladarius Green. So again, it was a down year for the Chargers last year, but based statistically, you really can't blame Philip Rivers for having that kind of a passing offense with a lot of injuries as well. Melvin Gordon, the first-round pick from 2015, was a complete bust in his rookie season. Yep. He didn't see the end zone one time, but thankfully, Danny Woodhead.
That's right, we said Danny Woodhead.
80 catches last year out of the backfield. He really helped the San Diego offense quite a bit.
Did we say Danny Woodhead?
Danny Woodhead.
Danny Woodhead, okay, just checking.
The one guy the Pats let get away, huh?
Yeah, well.
They don't let guys get away.
That's true.
They were getting gashed, really, by rushing offenses throughout the league, and it was speculated that they may go with a defensive tackle in the draft. They were linked to DeForest Buckner. They ended up going with Joey Bosa, who's going to help that pass rush quite a bit.
Joey Bosa!
But probably the biggest thing that's hanging over this team is uncertainty about if they're going to stay in San Diego. With the Rams building a stadium in Los Angeles, there was talk of them possibly sharing it with the Chargers. A lot of uncertainty there, but as far as on the field goes, Leo, you know, again, it's a hell of a passing attack, and Rivers doesn't seem to be aging. What are you looking for out of the offense this year?
Well, I'll be honest with you. The run game still does have me a little bit concerned. There's still a lot of questions in the offensive line. I mean, it's great that we've added people like Matt Lawson trying to get some better leadership in there, but the run game is iffy. Now, like you were mentioning, the passing attack, I mean, I feel great about it. We have Keenan Allen coming back healthy, Benjamin, who's got wheels. We got James Jones, who can definitely help us in the red zone. And the new guy, Hunter Henry. I'm really excited to see what we can do. See if Gates can kind of nudge him in the right direction.
Okay. All right, now, and we talk about Phil Rivers. You say you're not worried about the pass offense, and that's fine. You gave us some good names there. I just worry about Phil Rivers. You know, how many more years does he have, and how are the Chargers looking for the future? They haven't addressed the quarterback position yet. They still are okay with Philip Rivers. Is there any kind of buzz out in San Diego that, you know, maybe it's time to turn a page on Philip Rivers and go in a different direction of rebuilding?
You know what? I would say that I feel comfortable with Philip Rivers for another 2-3 years. But yeah, I think it is time for us to try to find that next replacement, that back for Philip Rivers. I mean, his knees never were the best, so it is something to be worried about. But I think yeah. Overall, it's time to start looking. I mean, we've got an elite quarterback right now, but it's not going to last for long.
The Chargers lost a lot of close games last year, and you could make the case that really the reason that Rivers may have ended the year 4th in passing is a result of him having to throw it up a lot more, just because the defense wasn't really helping them there. They did get Joey Bosa. I'm sure he'll sign at some point. But you know, was that the pick that you were thinking they were going to make? And I ask that because, again, a lot of people thought DeForest Buckner was a perfect fit. They needed a guy in the middle, you know, to clog up the line against the run, but they ended up going defensive end. Talk a little bit about maybe Bosa, if he was the guy you thought they would get.
I did not think Bosa was the guy to get. I guess like many other Charger fans, I was thinking DeForest Buckner. Unfortunately, that broke out, and you know, we spent that thing, and that was Joey Bosa at the time. Of course, now with the contract dispute, it's getting a little crazy, especially with August 9th being a trade deadline. So we'll see what happens. I'm happy with the pick. It's just, can we get them on board?
You know, we also heard out this way, being out in New Jersey, Leo, that, you know, with the loss of Eric Whittle, that they would maybe look to go to Ramsey. Would that have been a pick you guys would have looked to do, or?
That was honestly what I thought. Like, I thought we would force Buckner and the second pick, Taylor Ramsey. It made sense. We definitely needed to fill that loss with Weddle. And yeah, we were with Bosa. I mean, I do think there was an injury, wasn't there, to Jalen Ramsey? So I guess that could be a blessing in disguise, but.
So, Leo, as I mentioned in the intro there, Melvin Gordon did not at all meet anybody's expectation last year. Is he somebody who the fans are looking at as, what the hell did we do? Is there some excitement that maybe he can kind of turn it around? Because, again, when you draft a running back that high, and I should know as a Cowboys fan, we just did the same thing, you know, for him not to produce really at all, I mean, that really hurt the team quite a bit. I mean, they were planning on him being that stud, bell cow running back, and they didn't get that whatsoever. You know, what's the vibe with the fan base as far as if he's going to turn it around and really make himself worth the pick that they put into him and all that money?
Yeah, well, I can tell you, just speaking on behalf of a lot of fans here, is that we are pretty worried that we did trade up to get Melvin Gordon. He hasn't produced, and then when you see another guy like Todd Gurley, who's been producing killer numbers, that's the kind of production that we expected from Melvin Gordon. And I don't even think he put up a single rushing touchdown last year. No. So, yeah, it was a tough shift, and I think this year's a big year for him. If it's anything remotely like that, I just think they're just going to put him on the bench and just let Woodhead take it over.
Now, defensively with the Chargers, their secondary, how does, you know, obviously big loss with Eric leaving there, but with the linebacking core being what they are and the defensive line being okay, I think the secondary is a little bit weak out there. Do you think you guys have addressed it at all in the couple losses you have out there?
Yeah, I think we've addressed it some. It would be nice to see what we're going to look like if we get folks on board. And I think one of the biggest things is going to be if Brandon Flowers can have a bounce-back year because, I mean, he was a player that really cost us a lot of games this past season. So the coaches, they're saying that he's looking like he's 25 years old again. So if he can come back at a good level, then I'll be pretty excited.
All right. Well, looking at the schedule, Leo, I got two spots in the schedule that maybe, I don't know about worry the Chargers at all, but I mean, I think they're going to be tough stretches. Actually, at the beginning of the year, you go out to Kansas City, and then you play home, and it is against Jacksonville, which I think Jacksonville is an up-and-coming team, and then you go to the Colts. That's a stretch where, you know, those three games are going to be important. You can't come out of there with, you know, 1-2, or I think even 0-3. And then the other stretch of the game is looking in first part of December. You got the Buccaneers at home, and that's trouble in itself right there. Then you got to go to Carolina, and then you are home against Oakland. So that's another three big stretch. So what do you think about the Chargers this year in the way of how they end up the year?
At the end of the year, honestly, I think it'd be pretty optimistic to say that we're going to end up 8-8. My gut's telling me that it's probably going to be more along the lines of 7-9. Okay. There's just a lot of work that still needs to be done. But you never know. It is the NFL, so any given Sunday.
Absolutely, absolutely.
I guess just one last thing. I know Antonio Gates, you know, he never seems to age. They did lose Ladarius Green. Do you see them leaning on him again more this year? Or do you see them not phasing him out, but kind of looking other directions, especially because they have Keenan Allen back, again, James Jones, Travis Benjamin, do have a lot of outside weapons as well.
I mean, I think you are going to start looking at him less, with the exception of red zone. Just that connection between him and Phillip Rivers.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's amazing. It's one of the best quarterback tight end combinations ever. So I think he'll definitely still be really involved in the red zone, but outside of that, I think it's pretty limited.
And just one more quick thing, Leo, off of that. Ladarius Green is a guy that the Chargers moved up in the draft. Didn't get rid of a lot, but they moved up in the draft to get him to really replace Antonio Gates. Now it's kind of flipped around. Now Ladarius Green has gone off to Pittsburgh, and now Antonio Davis is there, or Antonio is there. And, you know, how long do you stay with him now? He is aging. He is still, you know, viable, but how long do you hold on to him when you had this in effect to keep Green there?
That's a good question. I mean, if you ask me, he's starting to look slower and slower. So I really can't. I think this might be his last season, to be honest.
Yeah, then I just don't understand why they let Ladarius Green get away. I mean, if it was a money issue, I would have.
Yeah.
Here's a guy you brought in to replace the guy that's there. I mean, why wouldn't you just throw money at him?
Like you figure it out.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I completely agree. He's just not the. He doesn't have the fluff anymore. He's got moves still, but I mean, you can't really run down the field. You're not going to do much good.
Yep.
Well, that's all the time we have for San Diego today. I want to thank our San Diego affiliate, Leo Rodriguez, jumping on the line, talking a little Chargers with us. Leo, thank you very much for joining the Sports Box.
You're welcome. Bishop.
Absolutely, pal. And during the season, as the Chargers get into the season, maybe we'll have you back on the show to talk a little bit about what's going on out in the San Diego area. Is that a good deal?
Absolutely, I would do it.
Absolutely. All right, and that's all the time we have for Sports Box for San Diego edition.
Make sure you're following us on Twitter at Sportsbox Show, posting a lot of new content there, and feel free to share your thoughts with us. Let us know how we're doing.
And remember, at the Sports Box, and I'm sure Leo knows, at the Sports Box, the only opinion that matters is right here. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe. See ya.
Don't forget to subscribe.